So I am getting ready to leave you a message to catch up on everything. And I was walking and there's the light. You see the little orb down there at the bottom by the little stop button. I don't know why I'm telling you the stop button. It's not like you can see. Well, actually, yeah. Because you have the same place, stop, like in the same place. Okay, so I'm right. Anyways, so you can see the little orb there. You can see the beams of light, which is funny because I can see one coming down like straight to my glasses. But, so, again, like intuition was like, stop and take a picture. So I did. And as I'm sitting here, I noticed the orb. And I was like, oh man, that's so cute. Like, I want to be able to see that. So I'm wearing my glasses and I look and I can see it in my glasses. Don't know how to describe it. It's just like a little green. I mean, it looks just like that on the video. It's just a little green dot in, I don't know if you can see it in the reflection of, I think that's the sun in the reflection of the sunglass in the glasses, which, have the automatic sunglass thing. But I can see the orb right now, but only because I have my glasses on as of now. That'll be so cool if that changes one day. So I do have like 4 videos of yours to catch up on. I mostly, because I haven't been listening to them just because when we've been driving, it's been with Richard. I know we talk about stuff that I don't necessarily want to, broadcast to somebody that you don't know, Actually, I think I have headphones in my purse because I didn't bring my little earbuds. But I used to always keep a pair of corded headphones in my purse. So I think I might do that and grab those so that I can listen to some of your videos while we're driving next time, which we're going to stay here for today about Shasta. We're down at Lake Sis, I don't know, Lake Sis for short. Camping. Wait till I tell you the story about last night. I want to tell you about Yosemite and dreams, but I almost feel like I should start with this story right here. So I'm gonna grab my sleeping bag and start with this story right here. Just wondering if you have an idea. That's our cooler that was left there last night, and that happened in the middle of the night. So I'll just start with that one because that one's most interesting, and then maybe I'll work my way backwards then instead of going back and working my way forward. So I gotta grab my sleeping bag, I'm cold. So go to bed last night. It's 9:30. So this, I think I just showed you, is our tent, right? So this is the setup. That's his air mattress. It was not big enough for 2 people. I did not want to share that thing. So I am on my air pad with sleeping bag. I like the sleeping bag because it's bigger and I can easily, it's wide enough. Don't know if you can tell that I can spread out more like I do to sleep at night. I like to lay on my side and kind of I don't know, side/stomach and kind of spread out. It got really chilly last night. Squirrel. And so we go to bed about 9:30. Middle of the night, I wake up and I hear somebody opening the cooler. I was like, huh, well, maybe Richard's up and getting a beer or something like that. And I just didn't hear the zipper. Like, when I went camping with my friends, I did not hear, like, Alicia when she went out of the tent. And I wouldn't have heard her come back into the tent. But she's also, like, incredibly respectful and quiet. It's like when she opened the zipper of the tent when I was staying with her. She, like, opened it very, like, quietly and, like, slowly and quietly. So that it was, like, not waking me up. And then we had a spirit with us in Patagonia Lake because when she came back, she said she heard the zipper of the tent. So she announced herself coming back because she thought I was coming out of the tent. And she was like, Jenny, it's me just coming back in. And I'm like asleep on my pad. And I'm like, okay. Okay, Alicia, thanks for letting me know. Like, it's cool. I didn't think somebody else was going to open the zipper and come in. And she realized that I was still just like in my pad, like in my sleeping bag. Like, I was not opening the zipper of the tent. So I know what the zipper of the tent sounds like because I did hear her open it, right? And like, you open it when you go in and out. So the next day, Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. And I took a nap midday. It was so hot. It was ridiculous. This is at Lake Patagonia. This is an ADD moment. I'm in the tent. It's so hot, but I was so tired. I literally did not care. It was like, I just need to go. Is that light right there in my glasses? I can't see it, but I can kind of see it in the reflection. Like, I can't see it in my glasses, but I can see it in the reflection of the video. I love it. So, ridiculously hot. Like, I was sweating so much during that nap. It was stupid. Like, I hardcore passed out, and I'm pretty sure I drooled, too. So, like, my sleeping pad is, like, pocketed. So it has these, like, kind of little, it kind of looks like an egg carton. It has these little, like, valleys in between each of the pockets. So I wake up at one point, and I was still so tired, I really didn't care. But I woke up at one point with my face, like, turned to the side, just on the pad without my pillow at this point. Because I was so tired. Because that day I had woken up before sunrise, gone for a little hike, and then came back and made breakfast and everything with my friends. And I have found that I've been, like, decently tired some days, especially when I'm out in nature. Just lots of healing and recouping and recovering, I guess. So I wake up and my head's, like, sideways on the pad, and I wake up my face is drenched in sweat. And I was like, it was like sweat and I was drooling. I was like, I don't care. I'm still so tired. I want to go back to sleep. And this was, like, right before it looked like a big rainstorm was coming in. And I was like, oh, it'd be so nice to get rain, and it cooled down. But whatever, I'm too tired. I'm going back to sleep. So I, like, turned my head the other way. I think I did have my pillow that time, maybe. Oh, I think I might have slid up on the pad and had my pillow on the ground. So then I put my head sideways on the pillow. So then I wake up from my nap, and my girlfriends were just getting back from going to the store for stuff. And I wake up and I look down at my pad, and all those little pockets, like the little valleys in between the, like, air pockets, are, like, full of, oh wow, that's really cool. There's some, like, mist or something. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the video. Oh, it kind of stopped. It was, like, right through there was some really cool, like, mist or something rising up. I don't know. Oh, there it is. can see that on the video or not. I was going to say it's right there in front of that big tree, but I don't know if that's a helpful description. It's literally right. Yeah, you can kind of see it on the video. There you go. Oh, how cool. Like smack in the middle of the screen. There you go. Now that's bigger. Now you can see. Oh, that's so neat. Wow. That's crazy. There it goes. Huh. Well, that was really cool to catch on video. So anyways, that was that story. I woke up like literally with all those pockets like full of sweat. Very different sleeping temperature for last night. So that story first. It's like literally go to bed at like 9:30. No idea what time it is. Wake up. Oh, sorry. The zipper spirit at the other place. So while I was there during that nap, it was one of those things where I knew everyone was gone, but I don't know how I knew that their vehicle was gone. Maybe I like subconsciously like heard it pulling away or something like that. But when I woke up from the nap, it was confirmed because they were all coming back. So during my nap, and it was one of those things where I knew, like, you know, not to worry about it because Alicia had already told me she had heard the zipper. So I was like, okay. So literally in the middle of my nap, I wake up and I hear the zipper. And it's opening very slowly, very quietly, just like Alicia was doing. But, like, it's opening like the zipper. Like, you know what it sounds like when a zipper opens. And I was like, it's definitely the zipper opening. So I was like, well, maybe it's just like the tree scratching on top of the tent or something like that. So I rolled over. I think this was when I woke up. So I heard it in the middle of my nap. And then when I was like, okay, well, maybe, you know, whatever. Maybe I'm just hearing stuff. Maybe it's the trees on the top of the tent. Maybe it's, you know, like you kind of make up like excuses. So then I wake up from my nap and I hear it again and I'm like, no, that is definitely the zipper. Like, that is an interlocking, like, it sounds like it's unzipping. And it sounds like it's unzipping, as weird as that is. It didn't sound like it was zipping. It sounded like it was unzipping. So I sat there and I listened and I rolled over and I looked up and I saw the trees. And I saw the tree branch like above. And then I tuned into that noise, and it was a very different, like light, very light, gentle scratching noise. It was not the same zipper noise. And I was like, we definitely have a tent spirit here with us because I definitely hear the tent unzipping. So crazy. So I told Alicia when I woke up. So, middle of the night last night, wake up to somebody opening the cooler, like, you know, the noise, you know what it sounds like when somebody opens a cooler lid. And I was like, well, maybe Richard's getting a beer. And I'm like laying there because I was like, well, he could have easily left the tent and me not hear it because Alicia left the tent and I didn't hear it. I'm pretty sure I would have heard it if it was Richard. He is not quiet by any means. It's like, ugh. Anyways, like, I've been awake when he's gone in and out of the tent, so it hasn't woken me up, but his rapid, loud unzipping would probably wake me up versus Alicia's nice, quiet, considerate unzipping. So, I'm, like, laying there, though, like, you know, wondering if he went out, and then all of a sudden I hear him move on the mattress next to me, and I was like, hey, Richard, do you hear that? He's like, yeah. I was like, I think something's getting into our cooler. So we just laid there and listened. Definitely heard the cooler lid open. And then heard like bags being taken out and like opened, like ripped open. So I was trying not to freak out because immediately mind goes to Bear. And I'm sitting here right now at the cooler. And that's our tent right there. So I mean that's probably 6 feet, 12 feet from our tent. I'm like, that is really close. And I'm like, then I started thinking about how we're taught to be afraid of bears. Because we're taught to be afraid of everything, which I've been making a list of. Like, it's so cool. I can see another orb, like, in my glasses, like, in the reflection of my left one. It's in my left one, though, so I don't know if you can. Oh, no, right there. No, oh, there's two. How fun. Oh, no, that's just the sun, I think, that you can see in my glasses. I don't know if you can see the other two. Let's see if I do this. Oh no, there's two other ones right there. So, I've been writing down a list of just literally, which I don't even know if I need to do. It's like literally everything in the world we are told by somebody to be afraid of. Be afraid of bears because they can kill you. Be afraid of bees because they can sting you. Be afraid of plastic because it can poison you. Be afraid of tampons because you can get toxic shock syndrome. Be afraid of the sun because it can give you cancer. I need to share with you the most recent one. I did not click on this article. It's like basically, on your home page of Google Chrome on your phone, and it suggests articles for you. One of them said, new research reveals that through hiking could be bad for you. Read to find out, something like that. I'm like, seriously? Now you're gonna tell me that hiking is bad for me? Like, really? I can't. I cannot. Like, at what point are we as human beings gonna be like, no, look, we do not need to be afraid of anything in life. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. I'm done. So, as we're laying there listening last night to, I know, my ADD moments, basically stuff being taken out of the cooler and bags, like, you can hear them ripping open. And that's where my mind went. Because my heart was pounding. It was racing. I was like, holy crap. Like, there's an assumption, never saw it. There's a bear, like 10 feet from us. I didn't know how close it was, but I knew it was like pretty close last night. Like, there is something close. And the weird thing is, the whole time I was listening, I heard the cooler open. I heard the bags being ripped open. I heard some chomping on some ice, it kind of sounded like. But I never heard breathing. And I never heard, like, rustling, like paws or something, like rustling on the ground in the dirt. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I watched, like, I've never seen a bear in person, but when they portray them on TV, they're always very loud, and you hear, like, the low grumbling or growling, you hear the deep breathing, you hear their, like, big paws and legs. like roaming on the ground. But as I was laying there listening, I was like, I don't hear any breathing. And we laid there and listened. And from the tent, there was a light, like straight ahead from the tent. Now, I had heard like what sounded to me like a big truck, like maybe security of some sort, like driving through here in the middle, like driving through the camp in the middle of the night. So I was like, maybe it's like lights from security or something like that. Maybe they spotted the bear, so they're shining the lights to try to chase it off. Richard saw it and he goes, "Is that the moon?" I was like, no, there's no way that can be the moon because that's not a top-down light. That's like a light coming from straight ahead, like straight at us. Again, when we want to talk about like fight, flight, or freeze, I'm gonna say my go-to is to freeze. I pretty much just laid there frozen, like trying my best to stay quiet and not move and not like disrupt whatever was out here and eating the food. I was like, well, guess we should have put the cooler in the car overnight because that lid was not secure. I mean, it didn't really matter. There's nothing we could have done, and obviously that's the way it was supposed to play out. The whatever it was, if it was a bear, ate some chili, some bacon, some turkey, the rest of the hot dogs. It looks like the beer cans are intact. Looks like the water bottle's intact. The milk, the oat milk that I had is ripped open. So laid there and listened. The bag rustling stopped at some point, but never heard like footsteps walking away. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has like ever experienced bears. Maybe they're just really that quiet. It was also really interesting with the light, but there was no breathing, no footsteps, of any kind. Very, very interesting. Especially with the light. I was like, I don't know, maybe there's security. Maybe they spotted the bear, so they were like over there, like shining the light. There's some other cars parked over there. So who knows? But at some point, I fell back asleep because then I woke up and it was still dark. And I was like, I gotta go pee. And I think, because then Richard woke up too. So we both went out to go pee. And at that point, it was 3:30? 3:30. So sometime between 9:30 and 3:30, got to listen to something get into our food. Let's see. And obviously I'm still here, so I'm fine. Let's do dreams, because dreams have been very interesting the last couple nights. So last night, it's been like about people, which is weird. And people that I'm not like currently close to. But last night, I had a dream about my friend Basha. So Barbara Bukowski, my friend from high school, who experienced a stroke, I believe, when she was in Illinois. Don't remember the year. I want to say a good 2 years ago. And I think it was after I separated with Dave. So maybe going on 2 years now, year and a half, 2 years. I don't know. I have to look back. But I saw that she actually moved out to Arizona. And I reached out to her when she first moved out there. And I was like, hey, let's go grab lunch. Because we were like pretty good friends in high school. It was like Maya, Renee, Basha, or Barbara. And then we were also friends with Cammie and Megan and Jocelyn. But Basha, Renee, and Maya are the 3 Polish girls that I was like really close with. And that's like some of the stories that I've told you when we would like be hanging out and they would be speaking Polish and they'd ask something and I'd answer. And they'd be like, how did you know what we just said? I'm like, what do you mean? You just said blah, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, but we said it in Polish. And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I don't know if that's like an intuitive thing, knowing Polish in another lifetime, just knowing them well enough to know what they're saying, like. But so I had a dream last night about her. I don't really remember the details other than knowing she was in my dream, and then something to do with my house and selling it and then wanting to build condos on the area, like my house and another house, but it wasn't my current house, like it was much nicer area, and they were going to build condos on it. And then I was like, well, I don't know if I want to sell if they're going to build condos instead of single family homes. And yeah, and then the night before that, again, no idea why this person was in my dream, but he ended up being in my dream what felt like all night long. Like it seemed like I would wake up from the dream, realize I was dreaming about him, and go back to sleep. Wake up from the dream, realize I was still dreaming about him, go back to sleep. And I think it happened 3 times. And the person is not even somebody that I'm close with. It's not somebody that I've ever been close with, but his name's Steven Enriquez. He trained at Nava's with me. I don't know if he still trains or where or anything. And he is a chiropractor. He owns Global Chiropractic, and I think it's in Tempe, like off this, I don't know why I'm telling you because you're not going to know, but off the 60 and like rural or something like that. So kind of close to campus, like the ASU campus, but not. But the dream was like, I don't know. At one point, he was my teacher. Oh, so I think at one point he was like my chiropractor or something. And then at one point in the dream, he was like my teacher. But he was like, I don't know, my math teacher. Like, it looked like geometry. Like, I was drawing triangles of some sort. And it was on like regular paper. You know, like lined paper. Not graph paper. Not blank paper. But like lined paper. And I was like showing it to him for my homework. And I don't know what that has to do with anything. But I don't know, maybe there's some sort of symbolism for triangle. Maybe I should look that up here. That's the one thing I can't look that up when I'm like doing videos with you. But so I looked him up on Facebook yesterday just to be like, why on earth did I spend the entire night dreaming about him? And I don't know. Like I said, he was not somebody that I was ever close with at Paul's. Like, I was close with a lot of the guys at Paul's. Like, Aaron and Brandon and Daniel Rodriguez and, like, friendly with Jorge. And, I mean, like, all the guys. Like, Eddie and, blinking on a bunch of names. Luis and, what's your brother's name? Why can I not remember your brother's name? But anyways, I mean, Vince and, yeah, I mean, just all the guys, right? which maybe that's why I've been craving, like, wanting more guy friends recently. Just remembering having, like, a close relationship with guys for so long. Jeremiah, Brandon, Lionel. Gosh, yeah, I had a lot of guy friends for a long time. So, but when Steven came, it was like, because he was a chiropractor, I was a PT. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, because sometimes they butt heads, but I think I said hi to him like once, but he just like wasn't super friendly to me. So we never like were friends. And then I looked him up. So I think he was married with kids when he was training. I'm not sure. I'm assuming. I think he was married. But I looked him up on Facebook, and it said something about, like, his girlfriend. So, and then he has a picture, though, of him and his 3 daughters. But it looks like he's, like, ridiculously into, like, fitness and working out at the gym, and it looks like she is, too. So I was like, well, that's cool, you know. They found someone with, like, mutual shared interest and being fit together and, like, learning how to just enjoy life. There was one of his posts that talked about, like, he planned out this, like, hike, and he had it all planned out for time and stuff like that. And then when he started on the hike, there was, like, people and stuff that kept, like, interfering with him, like, trying to accomplish his goal. And then he was like, what am I doing? Like, let's just have fun. So that was pretty cool. But I was like, I have no clue. Like, I don't know, maybe that stuff. But something, you know, like, for some reason, he was in my dreams, like, all night long. It's like, am I supposed to do something about that? Am I just like, I don't know. It's just weird that I've been having dreams about people the last 2 nights. So, probably gonna reach out to Basha again. See if he wants to grab something to eat or do something when I get back. Hang out. I'm guessing she went through her own kind of spiritual awakening with the massive stroke that she had, which I'm guessing was due to just an insane amount of stress. This is the fire that Richard just put on, because I'm sure you can hear it in the background. It's nice. Having a fire right now is actually allowed, which is amazing, because most places right now aren't allowing campfires. So then the last thing I was going to share, I think, is Yosemite. Oh, no, not Yosemite. 2 things. Yosemite was absolutely beautiful. And in that first picture I posted on Instagram, zoom in and look underneath of the light by the tree. So there is an orb off to the right of the picture. But there's, like, I don't know how to describe it, like an aura of some sort. Kind of looks like a rainbow veil. That's how I would describe it, like a rainbow veil. Like a white veil with, like, rainbow colors in it. I've never seen anything like that before. Like, I've never captured anything like that before in pictures. So that was the first time. And I was like, gosh, that is absolutely beautiful. And then we drove from Yosemite. We stayed overnight somewhere. And then drove to Mount Shasta, like just under 4 hours or something like that. And Richard took me to, like, a little local park with the headwaters of the Sacramento River, is what it says. But it's just this, like, these spring waters that just kind of come out of the rocks. It's really, really cool. And there's a little, like, fall. And we just sat there and filled up our water bottle. So everybody comes and fills up their water. It's like the most amazing, like, fresh water. And people just go and hang out and bring their dogs and meditate and, you know, just all sorts of really cool stuff. So just hanging out, meditating there for a long time, it just felt like such a good place. And at one point there were these two girls that, like, kind of like reminded me of you and I last summer, like when we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and they were just like giving each other the biggest hugs and just embracing. And I was just like, God, that is just so wonderful to see, like, that, the physical connection, the physical touch, the love, like, shared between the two of them. And it was just so cute. And there was a lot of people, like, kind of watching, and just like how happy they were to see each other. And then, like, one of them gave, like, the other one a kiss on the forehead, and they both were there with their little puppies. It was so sweet. And then I don't know how to describe it, but there were these two guys, like, different, they weren't talking to each other, but I saw one of them first. Totally, like, reminded me of, like, Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, which is funny because we've been talking about Disney stuff lately. But the one of them, like, hardcore, like, lighter hair, but total Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow vibe. Like, just, you literally look like Jack Sparrow. And then, I don't know how to, like the hair, the clothes, like, everything just reminded me of Jack Sparrow. Then there was another guy there, and he had the darker hair with, like, the kind of, his wasn't dreads though, but it was like long, but like crimped or wavy, long black, like lots of volume, and same, just like major Jack Sparrow vibe. I was like, huh, okay. I don't know, maybe that's another movie to watch. Pirates of the Caribbean? Who knows? So, I just spent a lot of time, like, I've been finding, like, rocks underneath the trees for meditating, and that seems to be, like, my happy place, because I really connect to, like, the rock spirits, the stone spirits, more so than, like, sitting under a tree, like sitting on a tree or touching a tree. I don't feel as much connection as I do with the rocks, but maybe that's just because I live in Arizona right now. But I like sitting under the trees. Just so peaceful. Like, especially getting to look up and, like, look under, like, the trees and stuff like that. Like, I love it. Look at all that light. So, I sent a little video to my kids, and then I was actually on my phone posting my Yosemite pictures. And it was funny because there was a guy there that, like, wasn't on my radar, but, like, I had noticed him. And he was just, like, you know, hanging out, meditating, and relaxing, I don't know, whatever. And he had been sitting, like, kind of in front of me to my left, and then he had moved to my right, but back behind me. So I was actually on my phone when he approached me. But he came up to me and he, like, whispered, he was like, hey, can I give you a message from God? And I mean, now it's just, like, I think it's, like, the coolest thing ever. The way the universe communicates with us. Like, if we're, you know, not always hearing things or need a little extra, I don't know. So anyways, so I looked at him and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I would love that. So he goes, he wants you to know that you've given away your power to others for so long. And now this time is about you taking, reclaiming, like whatever, your power. And he wants to tell you a message. He's like, but it's not here yet, but I was like, it's coming. He was like, yeah. He's like, he has a message for you and it's coming. And I was like, I want you to know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. I was like, thank you so much. I gestured to like give him a hug, which he like gladly accepted. I gave him like a nice big hug. He was like, that was a really nice hug. I was like, thank you for the message. And then he like introduced himself, and his name's Charlie. Charlie? Charles? Charlie. One of those. And I just thought it was so sweet and so perfect, especially with everything that I've been going through. There's definitely been lots of mom guilt with like not spending as much time with my kids and stuff like that, you know, and feeling like I'm being more selfish with all the travels and the time away from them. So, especially like here, I mean, well, the regaining the power was just like so perfect, because it's like just confirmation that this time is about me finding myself and what makes me happy and brings me joy, and just like learning to love myself. And that was really nice. And then for me, the message that's coming, I feel like it has to do with like my purpose, just because I don't feel like I have a purpose right now. I don't feel like I have a purpose in serving others right now, let's put it that way, because I've always been a people pleaser, right? I've always served people, like literally like serving people, even in the restaurant industry, you know, like with food and stuff like that, at Casey's, at Potbelly, and then like being a massage therapist and a physical therapist. Like I've always had like that purpose, but never the one to take care of myself. So I think that was nice confirmation to know like that this time is about me finding myself, and that I'm doing the right thing. But there is this like part of me that just kind of like feels like I'm lacking that purpose in serving others, you know, since I'm not really working like I have so much in the past. So that was nice confirmation, you know. I feel like that's the message that's coming. That's what I feel like it is. It's like just hang out. Just enjoy your time, girl. It's coming. Stop being so impatient. This time is about you. Make it about you. And then with the whole knowing that Dave is either relapsed or is going to relapse or what, you know, there was definitely some guilt. Like, should I be bringing them on this trip? Should I not be letting them go to California? Should I, like, are they going to be okay? And I'm like, look, the universe has shown you in those dreams with him relapsing, your kids are safe. Like, I feel like the universe, like, went, you know, like, made sure to show me that. So, and that's the whole thing, is I was getting signs for doing this trip when Dave and Sam went to California. So, that, knowing that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, was nice confirmation and kind of helped release some of that guilt of like I'll know like everything with Dave and when the relapse does happen, and because I feel like he's got to hit his rock bottom, you know, in order for there to be a change, which I hope that there is for him. Like I do hope that he hits his rock bottom so that he gets the chance to want to change, whatever that looks like, so that he can have the chance to heal as well, you know? So was gonna say. I think that was it. But just that knowing that my kiddos will be safe when it does happen, and just, you know, I don't know. I got distracted, but I think that's all I was gonna say. So I am going to sit here and chill. I think I caught you up on everything I was going to catch you up on. I'll probably put in those earphones at some point so I can start catching up with some of your videos, because it's only Thursday, but I think I've got videos since Tuesday that I've been wanting to listen to. Yesterday driving. Oh man. So Richard took me up to the top of Mount Shasta, and then we were thinking about camping there, but then he took me down here in the woods, and he said there's a campground here, and he drove down here. I don't know. So we were trying to decide where we were gonna camp for the night, and when he said Mount Shasta, I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. But then when we were driving here, oh my gosh, like so much good emotional release. Like just started crying, and just I felt like I was holding it back, and I kept like feeling guilty for crying, because it was kind of like one of those, like that longing to travel, but then feeling guilty for wanting to do so, because at the same time, like, I wanted my kids to be here, but I don't want to do this kind of stuff alone. I don't want to be traveling with them without like that family dynamic. And I think that's where a lot of it was, like, you don't have to feel guilty for wanting to travel. And so if this is like what you want, like, just, what is it that you do want? And I think it took me a while to get there, to just be like, because almost it was like the guilt of like feeling so good to be able to do this and have the freedom to do it without the kids. And then there was like that major mom guilt. And then it's like, but I want to be able to do stuff like this, but like with help. And I'm like, well, you've already talked about like an au pair, which would be really nice. And then like there's nothing wrong like with wanting that family dynamic, that partner that you envisioned with getting married to Dave and starting a family. Like, that's something that you've always wanted, and that's perfectly okay to want that. And it was just, yeah, it was really good, really powerful. Like, I was just like, lots of tears. There were some tears at the like stream, creek, water, I don't know what you call it, earlier. Okay, I think I'm done rambling now. I love you. I will keep you posted. I hope you are having an amazing Thursday.